Okay, so this is a Remington 3200. It was made between 1973 and 1984. This particular gun, based on its serial number, was made in 1973, the first year they came out. This was a remake of the old Remington 32, which they discontinued several years before. They made some significant upgrades, and this is actually quite a historical gun. This is the first really successful over and under that the U.S. companies made to compete with the European over and unders that were much more popular at the time. So this one has a trap special. It has the barrels, as you can see, are separated with a hanger. A very high rib. The lower barrel is improved, modified. The top barrel is full. So it was very well made, very robust. So anyway, the owner brought it in because it wasn't ejecting properly or at all. And so normally that just indicates probably a dirty kick rod or binding in the handguard. But unfortunately, when I got this thing apart, I found that the ejector plunger, which is inside the fore end, was actually broken. The head of it just broke right off the pin. And so it took a couple of weeks to find a new part, found a company that had them in stock, so just got it in. So I'm gonna go over very quickly how to get this thing back together. So I've already loosened up the stock, so I can show you sort of what is going on inside these guns. Again, they are a very robust design. This hammer pin is, I'm serious, one of the strongest hammer pins I've ever had come across in a firearm. But if you need to get one of those back in, it's going to be a real job. Normally what you do, you see there's a small, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but there's a small hole there. You'll need to put a small pin in there in order to keep it compressed onto this rod. And if you let that go, good luck getting it back on, because it is really, really tough. So normally there's these little kick rods here, just an L-shaped piece of metal that goes through the action. The hammer hits it, knocks into the sear in the handguard, which I'll show you. And typically when you have extraction problems, it's just one of these gets a little out of whack, or there's a little buildup in there that keeps it from moving like it's supposed to. And so the first thing I did was really clean that up. Thought I had it, and then I realized that when I really got into the fore end is where the broken part was. So let me get you a look at that. So this is the fore end, and down here are the ejector sears and the ejector hammers and springs. So what you need to do is there's down here inside here, there's a screw that needs to come out. And once you get that out, there's another small screw up here in the front that needs to be at least loosened up, and that bottom will fall out. And then once that piece falls out, keep this all together, and you're able to pull out this portion. So I have the new rod, and I have the spring here. So we're just gonna get this slid into place. It goes in this orientation. You need to make sure that the hammer's up. There we go. If you push down this little steer lever, you can push the hammer up, and that will give you not quite all the room you need. So you'll still need to compress it, which I'll show you is a little rather serious task. I made these spring compressors, ground off a little bit of each end, and ground a few V's into the head, and that will allow me to hopefully get enough of a purchase on this thing to squeeze it into place. And as I say, these springs on this gun are very, very robust, and can be a real chore. So let's just see if I have any luck here on the first try. Get it into its little spot there in the back. Take these pliers, set it onto the back there. Okay, so I apologize. This was a rather difficult and frustrating process. I'm going to spare you all the bad words that were going on while I was trying to do this, but I finally did get it into place. Unfortunately, when squeezing this, the head of the thing was hitting the hammer there, and so I had to do some real finagling. I finally popped it in there, and I am not going to pull it back out just to show you how it was done, but trust me, once you get it sort of on the end of the hammer, I've cocked it back now, but then you can kind of twist it into place, and it snapped in, and should be good to go. So this thing is back together, and hopefully it lasts another 50 years for my customer. So I'm going to get this back together. Basically, it just goes back the way it came out, and it should be good to go. So anyway, that is the repair of the extractor on a 3200. It very, very robust, very well built, but can be a little frustrating in getting some of these parts back in place. So that's it for now. We'll get this back together, and then maybe I'll do a couple of, show you a couple tests on it, and then we'll be done. Okay, I got a couple of empty shells here. We'll give this a quick test. Something else I should point out about the gun is when you see this hood move with the opening lever. So it's, like I said, it's a very, very robust gun. They're very well made, and the lockup on it is really good, and it has a selector here for the bottom barrel, top barrel, and safety. So let's go ahead and get a couple of shells in here. And we'll lock it up. Shoot the bottom shell. Select the top shell. And we'll get this opened up and see if we're ejecting properly. Trust me, it worked very well. So I think we're done with this baby. Get it surface cleaned up and get it back to the customer and let him get out to the range again. And it's a great trap gun. And I know I think he shot his first 25 just about a week or so ago. So I know he enjoys this gun, and I'm sure he'll be thrilled that it's back in shape. So until next time, stay safe. And that is the Remington 3200.